The Cornaro Atlas, Egerton MS 73, is an extensive Venetian collection, circa 1489, of nautical charts and tracts, currently held by the British Library. The Cornaro Atlas is an 80-page Venetian manuscript volume, estimated to date circa 1489. It is named after the Cornaro family, one of the leading patrician families of the Republic of Venice, who once owned the volume, and whose coat of arms adorns its frontispiece. The Cornaro Atlas was brought to England in 1832, and is currently held, Egerton MS 73, by the British Library in London, UK. The first half of the volume contains a large collection of nautical charts, faithful copies of Portolan charts composed earlier in the 15th century. The second half of the volume is dedicated to a myriad of written tracts on matters of nautical interest, e.g., astronomy, sailing directions, tariffs, etc. The Cornaro Atlas has around 80 pages, each page at 53 x 41 centimeters. 3 of the pages are calendars. P1, a perpetual astronomical calendar of lunar revolutions. P2, a calendar of movable feasts from 1489 to 1600. P79, a calendar of Dominical letters. Following the opening calendars, there are 38 nautical charts depicted in 35 pages, numbered P3 to P38. All the maps seem to have been copied around the same time and by the same hand. Several pages can be grouped together to form a single Portolan chart covering the normal Portolan range, Black Sea, Mediterranean, and Atlantic coast up to the British Isles. Most cartographers are named, some of them notables, such as Grazioso Benincasa of Ancona and Petrus Rosell of Majorca, others are lesser known. The last few charts are anonymous. Notable in this collection are the final charts on West Africa, Portuguese Guinea, by an anonymous cartographer, often attributed to Cristoforo Saligo, which seem to be based on a Portuguese nautical chart. It is one of the few indicators of the existence of Portuguese portolans from before the earliest extant specimens. 3+4, Portolan chart of Petrus Rosell. P3, chart of East Mediterranean and Black Sea. P4, chart of West Mediterranean and Atlantic coast. 5+6, Portolan chart of Giovanni da Napoli, Juan da Napoli. P5, East Mediterranean and Black Sea. P6, West Mediterranean and Atlantic coast. 7+8, Portolan chart of Grazioso Benincasa. P7, East Mediterranean and Black Sea. P8, West Mediterranean and Atlantic coast. P9, 2 charts on one page. The first is a special map of the Black Sea by Grazioso Benincasa, or F. Beccario. The second is a special map of the Black Sea by Francesco Beccario. 10+11, Portolan chart of Francesco Beccario. P10, East Mediterranean and Black Sea. P11, West Mediterranean and Atlantic coast. Notable here is the Ixala del Brasil, mythical Brazil, west of Ireland, followed by Ixala d'Amam, mythical Isle of Man, then the usual list of Azores names, Corvi Marini, etc. 12+13+14, Portolan chart of Nicola Fiorino. P12, East Mediterranean and Black Sea. P13, Central Mediterranean. P14, West Mediterranean and Atlantic coast. Notable here is a rare mythical island Monzorins west of Ireland, as well as the usual mythical del Brasil to the southwest. It also gives the customary Azores list, degli Corvi Marini, degli Conigli, de Zorzi, etc., including a second de Brasil, Terceira. P15, special map of the Adriatic Sea by Francesco de Sassanis, Saxeno. P16, several charts on one page by Juan Saligo. Map of Italy, the Adriatic and the Ionian Islands. Map of Sicily and Corsica. 17+18, Portolan chart of Alvise de Sassanis, Alvise Saxeno. P17, Black Sea. P18, Eastern Mediterranean, including Aegean up to Morea. 19+20, special charts of Domenico de Zane. P19, chart of Mediterranean. P20, chart of the Aegean Sea. 21+22, special charts of Grazioso Benincasa. P21, chart of the Mediterranean. P22, chart of the Aegean Sea, including Greece and Asia Minor. P23, chart of the Aegean Sea by Niccolò Pasqualini. P24, Chart of the Aegean Sea by Benedetto Pacina, explicitly dated 1489, the only dated map in the Atlas. 25 plus 26 plus 27 plus 28 plus 29, Portolan chart of Alvise Sasanis, noted as complemento of earlier Saxeno chart. P25, Central Mediterranean, from where chart on P18 left off, until Livorno. P26, West Mediterranean until the Balearic Islands. P27, West Mediterranean and South Atlantic coast. P28, North Atlantic coast, from Lisbon to Texel. P29, Map of Atlantic coast, from Northwest Africa to British Isles, by an anonymous cartographer. P30, South Atlantic chart by Cristoforo Celigo, Portugal down to Cape Verde, and including the Canary Islands, Madeira, Azores, and mythical Antilia. Notable for including both the traditional 14th century names and the new Portuguese 15th century names for the Azores Islands, specifically Huayta Lagovo and Huayta Santa Maria, Huayta Caprera and Huayta San Miguel, São Miguel, Huayta Brazil and Huayta Jhs Spo, Terceira, Huayta San Zorzi and Huayta San Piero, São Jorge, Huayta Colombay and Huayta San Dinis, Pico, Huayta La Venture and Huayta Salvis, Fayal. No traditional name in Huayta Graciosa, Graciosa, Huayta Canilgi and Huayta San Tomas, Flores, Huayta Corbi Marini and Huayta Santa Ana, Corvo. 31 plus 32 plus part of 33, map of West African coast, noted as Guinea Portugalex, or Portuguese Guinea, by an anonymous cartographer, often attributed to Cristoforo Celigo, P31, from the Straits of Gibraltar to Cape Verde, Senegal. P32, from Cape Roxo to Cape Saint Catherine, Gabon, depicting construction of Almena Castle, Caese defiando uno altro Castello del Rey de Portugal. P33, top, from Cape Frimoxo to Cape Negro, with all the toponyms in Portuguese. P33 bottom, map of the Caspian Sea, Mar de Baku, anonymous. P34 is a blank page. P35, two maps on one page, both anonymous. Top, map of the Black Sea. Bottom, map of the Aegean Sea. P36, general Portolan chart, Mediterranean, Black Sea, Atlantic coast, possibly to serve as a summary map of all the prior charts. Anonymous. P37, map of northern Germany, Sea of Germany, and the Baltic Sea. Anonymous. P38, a chorographic map of the Holy Land, entitled Descriptio Totius Terrae Sancte, quam Paciderant Filiae Israel, vocator etiam terra promissiones. Similar to the map of the Nautical Atlas. The remaining 40 pages of the Cornaro Atlas, pages 39 to 78, are various tracts, lists, and notes on various subjects, written in the Venetian language. Pages 39 to 46 are dedicated to astrology and astronomy. Discusses matters such as the relation of the stars to parts of the human body, instructions on the course of the sun and moon, eclipses, timing of Easter and feast days, etc. The content is similar to the Catalan Atlas of 1375 and the Pinelli-Walkenaer Atlas of 1384. P47 is a chapter entitled La Raxon del Martilojo relating the role of Martiloio, similar to Andrea Bianco's 1436 Atlas. P48, there is the replica of a 1428 document Venetian Captain General Andrea Mocenigo listing the captains of the Venetian galleys, followed, P49, by an ordered list of armed galleys of the government, Signoria, of Venice, and, P50, a list of the captains of the Flanders galleys. P52, beginning of a new treatise on astronomy, apparently dated 1388, tracing the movement of the 12 zodiac constellations, the 7 planets, the moon, etc. P55, an explanation of how to measure the height of buildings. P59, a list of tariffs on merchandise in different countries, comparative to the tariffs of Alexandria. P63 is a manual on sailing. P67 to P78 is a detailed Portolan handbook detailing the sailing directions and distances of the various ports of the Mediterranean and the Atlantic coasts, albeit apparently left incomplete. P79, the final calendar of Dominical letters.